There are a handful of small, quiet, completely normal decisions that slowly bleed retirement security year after year. And most people making them right now have absolutely no idea they are happening. That is not a scare tactic. That is just the reality of how a retirement system works when it is not designed to explain itself clearly to the people who depend on it most. If you've done everything you were supposed to do, worked hard, paid your bills, contributed when you could, and the retirement math still does not feel like it adds up the way it should, I want you to hear this directly. That feeling is not a sign that you failed. It is a sign that nobody gave you the complete picture. Today, we're going to fix that. 7 mistakes, real numbers, and exactly what to do about each one.
Here is what we are going to get into today. We are going to start with the Social Security decision that permanently cuts monthly income for millions of Americans who never realized there was a better option sitting right in front of them. Then I'm going to show you a number hiding on your retirement statement right now that is probably costing you somewhere in the range of $50,000, and you have never seen a single withdrawal for it. After that, we're going to cover a tax trap that does not show up as a problem until you're already retired and your options to fix it are almost gone. And then we get into 4 more, including one that takes 10 minutes to fix and that most people skip entirely, even though skipping it can legally redirect their life savings to someone they never intended. If any part of that sounds like it applies to your situation, stay with me. Every one of these is built around your reality. Here is what we are going to get into today. We are going to start with the Social Security decision that permanently cuts monthly income for millions of Americans who never realized there was a better option sitting right in front of them. Then, I'm going to show you a number hiding on your retirement statement right now that is probably costing you somewhere in the range of $50,000, and you have never seen a single withdrawal for it. After that, we are going to cover a tax trap that does not show up as a problem until you are already retired, and your options to fix it are almost gone. And then we get into 4 more, including one that takes 10 minutes to fix and that most people skip entirely, even though skipping it can legally redirect their life savings to someone they never intended. If any part of that sounds like it applies to your situation, stay with me. Every one of these is built around your reality.
Mistake number 1. Claiming Social Security without running the numbers. Let's start with the one that costs people the most money in pure lifetime dollars, and the one that can't be undone once the decision is made. Here's something most people never get told. The Social Security Administration gives you a window to claim your benefit, anywhere from age 62 all the way to age 70. Most people know that range exists. What they don't know is how catastrophic the difference actually is between the two ends of it. The common belief is that claiming early is basically a wash. You get less per month, but you collect for more years, so it evens out. That belief is costing people hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let me show you what this looks like in real numbers. Say your full retirement age benefit, the amount you receive if you claim right at age 67, is $1,600 a month. Claim at 62, and that benefit is permanently reduced to approximately $1,120. Not temporarily, permanently, every month, for life. Wait until 70, and that same benefit grows to approximately $1,984 a month. The gap between claiming at 62 versus waiting until 70 is $864 a month, inflation adjusted, guaranteed for the rest of your life. If you live to 85, which a significant percentage of Americans now do, that single decision is worth over $170,000 in lifetime income. Now, I know some of you are thinking, waiting sounds great on paper, but what if you need that income sooner? What if your health situation doesn't allow you to keep working? That concern is completely legitimate, and I'm not dismissing it. Here's what I want to be straight with you about. The mistake is not claiming early. The mistake is claiming early without ever running the full numbers first. Most people who claim at 62 do it because they simply didn't know what the delay was worth. Spend 20 minutes at ssa.gov with your own numbers before you make this decision.
That 20 minutes is worth more than almost anything else you'll do for your retirement this year.
Here's the number I mentioned earlier, the one sitting quietly on your retirement statement that you've almost certainly never noticed. It's called an expense ratio. It's expressed as a small percentage, something like 0.9% or 1.2%. And because it's never shown as a dollar withdrawal, it never triggers an alarm. It just quietly reduces the growth of your account every single year without ever appearing as a line item. Let me show you what this looks like in real numbers. Two workers. Both invest $300 a month for 30 years. Both earn the same 7% average market return before fees. Worker A is in a low-cost index fund at 0.1%. Worker B is in a typical actively managed fund at 1.2%. Worker A retires with approximately $340,000. Worker B retires with approximately $290,000. Same contributions, same market. $50,000 difference caused entirely by a fee they never saw as a withdrawal. That $50,000 didn't disappear. It was transferred, quietly, legally, one small percentage point at a time from your retirement account to a fund company over 30 years. The fix is genuinely simple. Log into your 401k today. Find the expense ratio on every fund you own. If you're paying more than 0.2% on a broad index fund, you have an opportunity sitting right there. Most plans offer at least one low-cost option. You just have to know to look for it. Most people skip this, and it costs them thousands. This is one of the fastest corrections in this entire video. Now let's talk about the tax mistake. This one is dangerous specifically because it doesn't feel like a problem while you're building. It only reveals itself after you retire when fixing it becomes much harder. Here's what most people believe. They expect to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement than they are today, and for a long time that was a reasonable assumption. Here's the part that actually matters now. If you've saved successfully, the IRS requires you to start taking mandatory withdrawals from your traditional 401k or IRA at age 73. These are called required minimum distributions. They're fully taxable, and depending on the size of your account, they can push your retirement income into a higher tax bracket than you ever anticipated, and they can trigger taxes on a portion of your Social Security benefit at the same time. Let me show you what this looks like in real numbers. Say you retire with $500,000 entirely in a traditional pre-tax 401k. At 73, your required minimum distribution on that account is roughly $19,000 for the year. Add that to your Social Security income, and suddenly your tax picture in retirement looks very different from what you planned. Now, say instead you had split that, $350,000 in the traditional account and $150,000 in a Roth IRA. Your mandatory withdrawal is smaller. Your Roth money comes out completely tax-free. Your flexibility in retirement is dramatically greater. If your employer offers a Roth 401k, or if your income qualifies you for a Roth IRA, putting at least a portion of new contributions into Roth is worth serious consideration. You pay the tax now at today's known rate, the money grows tax-free, and you never get a required minimum distribution surprise at 73.
Mistake number 4, carrying high-interest debt into retirement. Here's the one that's the most personal to talk about and the most important to sequence correctly. The single highest guaranteed return available to most Americans is paying off high-interest debt. A credit card at 20% interest is a 20% guaranteed return the moment you pay it off. No investment reliably matches that. The mistake I see constantly is people putting extra money into retirement accounts while simultaneously carrying credit card balances at 18 or 20%. I understand why it happens. The employer match on a 401k feels like found money, because it is. But beyond capturing that match, every extra dollar going into an investment account while you're paying 20% interest on debt is working against you mathematically. Here's the part that actually matters for retirement specifically. Carrying significant high-interest debt into retirement on a fixed income is one of the most reliable ways to make that income feel completely inadequate from day one. The sequence is clear. Step 1, capture the full employer match on your 401k. That's 100% return on those specific dollars, and nothing takes priority over it. Step 2, eliminate any debt above 10% interest before you increase retirement contributions beyond the match. Step 3, once that debt is gone, redirect every dollar that was going to payments into savings. This is exactly why the order of these steps matters. The sequence is the strategy.
Mistake number 5, the emergency fund that is quietly losing value. Here's one that most people completely miss, and it has two parts that work together. Most people keep their emergency fund in a standard bank savings account, earning somewhere between 0.01 and 0.5% interest. Meanwhile, inflation is eroding the purchasing power of that money every single year. At the same time, when a real emergency hits and the emergency fund is not where it needs to be, people raid their retirement accounts, and that's where this gets genuinely painful. If you take an early withdrawal from a traditional 401k or IRA before age 59 and a half, you pay ordinary income tax on that amount, plus a 10% early withdrawal penalty. On a $10,000 emergency, you could lose $3,000 or more before the money even reaches your hand, and that lost money never gets to compound for your retirement again. The fix has two parts, and both are straightforward. First, move your emergency fund to a high-yield savings account. These are FDIC insured, completely safe, and currently paying somewhere between 4 and 5% on money you need to keep liquid anyway. That's a meaningful difference on 3 to 6 months of expenses. Second, treat your retirement accounts as untouchable, because the penalty for accessing them early is permanent and the damage to your long-term picture is real. One account change, that's the move here. Mistake number 6. The beneficiary designation most people have never checked. Here's what most people never get told about the money they're building. The beneficiary listed on your retirement account overrides your will, completely and legally. That means if you named an ex-spouse on a 401k 15 years ago and never updated it, that person receives that money when you die. It doesn't matter what your will says. The beneficiary designation wins every single time. I've seen this happen, not because anyone was careless, but simply because nobody told them to go back and check. The fix is 10 minutes. Log into every retirement account you own. Look at the beneficiary on each one. Make sure it reflects your actual wishes today. Make sure you have a primary beneficiary and a contingent, a backup, in case your primary is no longer living when you pass. Do this today. There's no action in this video that takes less time and carries more consequence.
Mistake number 7, the set it and forget it trap. The last one is the most common of all 7, and it's the one with the most upside because correcting it costs nothing but a little attention. Most people set their 401k investment allocation once when they first enrolled and never look at it again. The mix they chose at 35 is still sitting there at 55, completely unchanged, while their timeline to retirement shortened by 20 years. Here's the risk that makes this genuinely dangerous. If you're heavily invested in aggressive growth funds 2 or 3 years before you retire, a significant market downturn at exactly the wrong moment can permanently damage your retirement picture. This is called sequence of returns risk, and it means the timing a loss matters as much as the size of it. A 30% drop at 40 is recoverable. The same drop at 62, right when you need to start drawing income, is a completely different situation. Here's the other side that's just as important. Being too conservative too early is its own mistake. I talk to people in their 50s who moved everything to bonds and cash out of fear, and their accounts are barely keeping pace with inflation while they still have a decade of compounding ahead of them. The right move is a gradual shift from growth-focused to a more balanced, income-protective mix as retirement approaches. Many target date funds do this automatically. If you're not in one, a single conversation with a fee-only financial advisor, someone who charges by the hour for advice, not by commission on products, is worth the time to review your current allocation. Log in this week, look at what you own. Ask yourself honestly, does this match where I actually am in life right now?
There are a handful of small, quiet, completely normal decisions that slowly bleed retirement security year after year, and most people making them right now have absolutely no idea they are happening. That is not a scare tactic. That is just the reality of how a retirement system works when it is not designed to explain itself clearly. Here is what I want to establish right up front. Every single one of these 7 mistakes is fixable. None of them require a windfall. None of them require starting over. What they require is knowing what you are looking for. We're going to start with the Social Security decision that permanently cuts monthly income. Then I'm going to show you a number hiding on your statement right now that's probably costing you $50,000, and you've never seen a single withdrawal for it. Let's start with mistake number 1, claiming Social Security without running the numbers. Say your full retirement age benefit is $1,600 a month. Claim it's 62, and that benefit is permanently reduced to approximately $1,120. Wait until 70, and that same benefit grows to $1,984 a month. The gap? $864 a month, guaranteed for life. You don't have to fix all 7 of these by next week. Pick one, the most important one for your situation right now. Do that one thing. That's a real step forward, and real steps forward are how this gets done. Now that you know how to stop the bleeding, the next question is where that saved money actually goes to work for you. The 3 best places to park retirement cash, ranked by security, growth, and tax efficiency. That's exactly what we cover next. The link is right here. Go watch that one now. And if this gave you some clarity today, hit that like button. It helps other people in the same situation find this content. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and if you know someone who needs to hear this, send it their way. That's exactly who this channel is built for.